back now! It's a twister! It's a twister!
Oh no, this episode of Kid Nation is called Deal With It, and I'm pretty sure they all die in an apocalyptic kidnatal catastrophe. That's not something they'd put on TV, is it? Is it?
Welcome to Kid Nation, one of the most insane reality TV shows ever made, where unaccompanied minors are driven to the middle of the desert to build a society from scratch, cook for themselves, clean for themselves, run their own economy, and drink bleach for themselves off camera. Yep, that actually happened. This show was so nuts it leaves you wondering, is this the worst reality show ever made?
In one of the most staged scenes in child reality competition TV history, the kids rage on soda at the saloon and wake up too hungover to work or play their arbitrary game that decides what class they're in.
This is your good morning wake-up call.
But that's cool with me, because I get to watch the only thing better than Jared with something to say. Hungover Jared with something to say.
Greg is cruel and non-feeling.
I got 4 hours of sleep. 4.
And to Jared's point, Greg is wreaking havoc all over town. The town council reads the journal from the fictional previous settlers of Bonanza, who, I don't know, disappeared, I guess. Let's just say they ran out of food and all ate each other. Anyway, the journal says they should institute a curfew, and all eat each other. Okay, just the first part. But if they don't figure out how to fix this town, cannibalism is inevitable. The council confronts Greg about being an asshole, and he's a real asshole about it.
I'm the village idiot, you're the village idiot, starting.
You tell me right now. I feel like we're disrespect.
What else? What else do you call me behind my back?
The violence makes me feel very uneasy.
Same, Alex. Same. So they impose a curfew. Then Colton takes some friends hiking and shows them how to scare wild bulls and chase them away while the camera crew does nothing to stop the near-death experience of 3 small children.
Colton, back up, man. Colton, back up. Colton, back up. Stop, man.
Just a quick thought. This is the worst reality show ever made. The yellow team has a flower fight instead of cooking breakfast, and eventually makes one pan full of home fries for the whole town.
This is breakfast right here.
This sucks.
Time to play a game to see whose responsibility it will be to make sure these kids get food and sanitary toilets. They round up a bunch of terrified sheep with human names printed on them and decide that responsibility will go to a different configuration of the kids themselves. As always, I'll take bets now on which episode will feature their first cholera breakout. God, I hope they never have to deal with a deadly pandemic that easily spreads in unsanitary environments. Any show that puts a bunch of innocent kids in a position like that would surely be the worst reality show ever made. Then again, that kind of thing never happens, right? Anyway, they earn a reward for the town and choose between option 1, a microwave.
I've also thrown in a barrel of cocoa.
If we had a microwave, it would take a lot easier to reheat something.
Jared on point as always. And option 2,
40 hot pizzas! With every topping you can imagine.
So the town council argues about what a microwave does.
What will we cook in the microwave?
What? Hash browns.
You can't cook hash browns.
Yes, you can. You can cook anything in the microwave.
After it's fried.
And they choose the microwave, so everyone hates them immediately. Damn, man. First these kids imposed a curfew, then they no thanks to sky-high stack of hot pizza. Fake kid government sucks almost as much as real adult government.
President Bush today, he has to be he's kind of bossy and kind of mean sometimes. Because if you want to run a country like we're running this town, you have to be bossy to get people's attention.
Don't worry, Taylor. Bush gets real nice later. He paints pretty pictures and gives Michelle Obama candy. Everything's forgiven. Hey, let's reset and get back on track by watching Jared carry too much water.
Okay, not good. Not good.
Nice. Next, a huge windstorm comes, which something tells me the creators of the show didn't exactly plan for when they thought it was a great idea to throw 40 kids on a random former Wild West set in New Mexico. But why plan for it when you can instead create the worst reality show ever made? You know, I'm glad that instead of burying this footage, they decided to do the honorable thing and stage a melodramatic adventure scene straight out of a disaster movie, except with kids and without any of the safeguards of a proper movie set.
Stench is unbearable. We need to get back inside.
Don't worry, they all survive and put the outhouses back up.
Can't hear whether Today I got too much dirt in my eye and I still haven't got it out. I don't like the weather here. I really like to go back and see all my friends and my family.
Well, tough shit, Cody. You've got a job to do as a pawn on a reality TV show where CBS manipulates you and all your little friends for our amusement. What are you, 9? Come on. Oh, you are? Well, fuck me then, I guess. At the town hall meeting, everyone complains that the town council sucks and Taylor doesn't do any work.
We earned upper class, and I don't care if people are mad at us or not.
Uh-oh, Taylor, be careful. You're gonna get canceled.
Being upper class does not give you the right to be queen.
Well, I can't say I'm a pageant queen, but the upper class is king and queen of the jobs and all, and they can do what they want.
Oh no, Taylor, don't say that.
Taylor, I'm getting a little bit tired with deal with it.
Oh no, Taylor got canceled. Taylor cries and apologizes, and cancel culture solves everything as always. The frat guy who smells like ham leads the town in their weekly confirmation that they are the willing participants in this televised mass kidnapping, and then moves on to what he says is the most important part of the show, the money that they're waving in front of these kids as a carrot to do what they want them to do. Plus, the kids are all excited to find out who gets to talk to their family. Hey, maybe this is the worst reality show ever made? Anyway, Mallory wins it, which frankly was the right decision because Mallory's objectively awesome.
I don't think that I'll ever forget this birthday because, I won the Golden Star. I'm going to get to call home and talk to my parents. And I'm in New Mexico.
Damn, she should get another $20K just for that New Mexico tourism ad. She runs and calls her parents, who comment on how funny it is that the school bus drives right by their house every morning. Oh yeah, these kids are doing this instead of school. Cool, I guess. She returns to the saloon to cheers from the rest of the kid pioneers. They all celebrate the victory and also that they didn't end up dying in that tornado. Cheers. Don't worry, that was just episode 3. Every episode of this series drove me more insane than the last, and hopefully it'll ruin your life too. And that's what makes it the best worst reality show ever made. I love you and we're in this together.
You're watching Funny or Die TV. And now, Conversations with Pigeon Man.
So, tell me more about this whole Afghanistan.
The situation right now...
Somebody order a pizza? Oh, right here. Thank you, sir. Keep the change. You were saying?
Yeah, right now, as...
Somebody order some garbage? Oh, yep, that's me. Here you go, my friend. See you next week. Please, continue.
Anyway...
Somebody order the large game tranquilizers?
Oh, yep, right here. Here you go. Take it easy, my friend. Hey, what are you doing after this?
I do have a few appointments after this.
Come over to my house. We'll eat some trash, shoot each other up.
Sophia?
Yeah.
Do you think God put us here for a reason?
I stopped believing in God a while ago.
Oh man, if you thought things got real on Kid Nation before, things are about to get really real now.
Welcome to Kid Nation, one of the most insane reality TV shows ever made, where unaccompanied minors are driven to the middle of the desert to build a society from scratch, cook for themselves, clean for themselves, run their own economy, and drink bleach for themselves off camera. Yep, that actually happened. This show was so nuts it leaves you wondering, is this the worst reality show ever made?
In this episode, the show decides that dividing the kids according to arbitrary capitalist classes and random teams and game show style t-shirts that compete to be in those classes just isn't enough. They have to find some way to make things even worse. They have to also divide them according to religion. This episode is called Bless Us and Keep Us Safe. But who will bless us and keep us safe? What will become of me, an innocent, obsessed viewer, unable to look away, even to go to the bathroom or eat, which is actually convenient because I can't look away to go to the bathroom anyway, but soon I will starve to death. Please, I have a family. The town council consults the journal written by fictional former townspeople conjured by reality TV producers looking to manipulate children into melodramatic social conflicts. The journal claims Bonanza City failed the first time around because no one prayed enough?
You're probably so busy trying to feed your town. You don't have time to feed your soul.
I'm talking about religion.
So everything's gonna go ahead and go downhill from here. The council announces they'll have a religious service, which every single kid loves.
Everybody shut up!
Alex decides there's no reason for everyone to argue about religion, so he'd draw up a survey for everyone to identify what religion they are. He's clearly coming from the right place here and is more insightful about religion than most 9-year-olds on the planet, but gathering data on what religion everyone is also the kind of thing that other very different people have done in the past with other very different intentions. Like, I don't know, Hitler comes to mind, I guess. Just one example, but hey, for now it's just a survey. Anyway, no one goes to the state-enforced religious ceremony. Given that that's a sentence I just said out loud, now's probably a good time to say, once again, that this is the worst reality show ever made. But Morgan does bring everyone together for an informal prayer session for any and all religions, and everyone's happy. Crisis averted. Unfortunately, no one paid homage to their one true god, the media conglomerate that brought them all together for profit and for our entertainment, a well-balanced trade that will bring me a lifetime of satisfaction and nightmares. They do mention that Morgan deserves a gold star for this, so at least they don't let us forget that altruism on this show comes with financial reward regardless of intention. Is that a flawed system? Who's to say? Is this the worst reality show ever made? Who's to say? They play a religion-themed puzzle game to set the class hierarchy and earn a reward for the town. They must choose between mini-golf or a library of holy books, which isn't necessarily the most exciting set of options, but it did produce this classic reality TV host line.
So, guys, will it be the holy books or a hole-in-one?
Perfect. Chef's kiss. Then it snows for one reason and one reason only. The host, your high school friend who's doing rehab on a farm, cannot have the best line of the episode. Jared must have the best line of every episode. And he does.
I want to become a snowman!
At the town council meeting, Taylor somehow gets canceled for the second episode in a row, which in Bonanza City is called a cancellation bonanza. Then Cody volunteers as tribute to finally get out of this hellhole and go home. He starts crying and talking about how much he misses his family, and that makes everyone else cry, and that makes me piss myself because this show has rearranged my brain and now everything comes out in the wrong places. John promises to get him home right away, which is probably the right move to avoid a massive liability. After all, I don't care what kind of waivers this kid signed. This is kidnapping. Anyway, Morgan gets the gold star and gets to talk to her parents who are very proud of their daughter, and suddenly I don't care if the show has kidnapped these kids because these kids have kidnapped my heart. Don't worry, that was just episode 4. Every episode of this series drove me more insane than the last, and hopefully it'll ruin your life too. And that's what makes it the best worst reality show ever made. I love you and we're in this together.
You're watching Funny or Die TV. And now, Conversations with Pigeon Man.
Yeah, just like that. You gonna ask me any questions, or?
Hey, either join in or shut up.
Okay, I'm in.
I'm Pigeon Man. Hey, don't jerk me around. Just keep watching for more Funny or Die TV. That's all I ask.
This is the beginning of political upheaval in Bonanza City. These kids are fed up. This isn't just a food fight. It's a food civil war.
Welcome to Kid Nation, one of the most insane reality TV shows ever made, where unaccompanied minors are driven to the middle of the desert to build a society from scratch, cook for themselves, clean for themselves, run their own economy, and drink bleach for themselves off camera. Yep, that actually happened. This show was so nuts, it leaves you wondering, is this the worst reality show ever made?
Zach tries to get his team to do their jobs and be cooks, and they scream at him. Anjay tries to get his team to wake up and be upperclassmen who don't have to do anything.
Get up! Shut up, Anjay.
Should they take it upon themselves to pitch into society even though they don't have to? Should they have to, given the fact that they have the most resources? Should billionaires exist? Is this the worst reality show ever made? All good questions. The council reads the journal, which was passed down from the original inhabitants of Bonanza City, who all went crazy and ate each other in a giant mass murder-suicide event. Okay, there's no evidence that that happened, but there's also no evidence that it didn't happen, and no evidence that anything else happened, so sadly, we have no choice but to believe this brutal version of history for these fictional people embedded in the framework of this reality TV show. Anyway, the journal suggests they hold district elections to vote on new council members. Kid election season is upon us. The council interrupts a standard-issue Bonanza City food fight to tell everyone their media conglomerate overlords have decided to hold district re-elections. They discuss logistics while covered in food fight slop. The Green District is clearly just the popular kids, so they just talk it out amongst themselves and decide Laurel should just keep her seat and they'll all just keep ruling the school. Well, the not school. School is what they'd be doing if they weren't trapped in the desert trying to replicate our country's broken political system to run a society with no adults as a fun social experiment, which, if you ask me, makes for the worst reality TV show ever made. All the current candidates give speeches to win over the votes of their districts and invite challengers to give opposing speeches. Everyone seems pretty ready for change in Bonanza City. Except, of course, the Green District. Because they've decided to keep their leader, they're freed up to stuff their mouths with baking soda and reveal to us at home that they aren't being given any toothbrushes in this gulag/television show.
I think I would give up a week's wages for a toothbrush.
I bet the upperclassmen earned a week's worth of your wages in the time it took you to say that. Ugh, guys, it's so hard to incite a revolution in this kid's society from my couch over a decade after they shot this show, but I am trying my best. They play a game to determine class hierarchy again. It has something to do with smashing a bunch of piñatas and putting US presidents in proper historical order. I don't know, I think what matters here is they're all running and screaming, and the host, guy who belongs in a commercial for hemorrhoid cream, is screaming live play-by-play at them.
Green got there first. Andrew Jackson, Abraham Lincoln, William Taft, Theodore Roosevelt, Richard Nixon, the first George Bush, and the second George Bush. Wrong!
Yellow wins due to help from Zach, who happens to be running to unseat Taylor from the council, but Kelsey is quick with a hot take about that.
Just because he knows he's president doesn't mean he's the best leader. I mean, look at George W. Bush. He's not smart at all, but he won the U.S. president 2 times in a row.
Looks like Taylor may have found her Dick Cheney. They all earn a reward for the town and get to choose between 2 rewards, which are once again something fun, a barbecue, and something they should have already been given if the show had any basic human decency, supplies to brush their teeth. They go with the thing that helps them survive. If you're surprised, you're probably also the person who assumes a homeless person will spend your money on drugs. Makes you think. In any case, the one thing I think we can all agree on at this point is that this is the worst reality show ever made. And we are descending into a simulated political dystopia.
Vote for Taylor. I'm not a failure. I'll do my best and beat the rest.
Vote for Taylor. I'm not a failure. I'll do my best and beat the rest. Vote for Taylor. I'm not a failure. I'll do my best and beat the rest.
Vote for Taylor. I'm not a failure. I'll do my best. Beat the rest.
Whoa, Markel will not be brainwashed. The revolution may be televised after all, and led by a 12-year-old pogo stick enthusiast. Turns out Layla made the poster Markel ripped up, so she starts crying cause, oh yeah, these are all kids. Greg comes to the rescue to comfort her cause ever since he's realized money is on the line, he's been a big brother figure to the younger kids, forcing me to officially revise my early season warning of don't mess with Greg to do mess with Greg cause either he knows being nice to you will help him get 20 grand, or the show unfairly painted him as a bully in the beginning and he's really just a nice guy after all. It doesn't sound as good as the first warning, but truth is often more nuanced than we'd like it to be. And that's what Kid Nation is all about. Just kidding. This is the worst reality show ever made. They have a town council meeting and give the gold star to Greg, who reveals he didn't have any money for college and now he can go to college. And I'm like, well, if Greg can go to college, then shit, maybe this show does work after all. I mean, wait, no, stop making me like this show. Oh, right, the elections. Okay, good. I hate this again. I think? Democratic elections? Peaceful transfers of power? Everyone being excited about being part of the political process? Is this show the best thing to ever happen to kids and also to television? What is happening? And then Greg calls his mom and she's crying, and once again the show has fully brainwashed me. I cannot stop watching it, and I will not stop watching it, and that is my pledge to you. Vote for me and we'll tear down reality altogether. Don't worry, that was just episode 5. Every episode of this series drove me more insane than the last, and hopefully it'll ruin your life too. And that's what makes it the best worst reality show ever made. I love you and we're in this together.